How's it going, everyone? Byron here with Rider's Domain. Today we're talking mesh jackets. Now, there are few things in life better than going for a ride on a hot sunny day, but it can quickly turn miserable if you're out in a leather jacket or a textile jacket that doesn't have very good ventilation. You're going to become sweaty, you're going to get uncomfortable, you're going to want to turn around after the first 20 miles and call it a day. Especially out here on the West Coast, we're in Southern Oregon, summertime, we see temperatures 105, even up to 110 degrees around here, and having breathable gear is absolutely essential in those conditions. And I know you guys in the middle of the country, in the South, where humidity is a factor, there's no question you have to have breathable gear. So we've got 5 of the best mesh jackets of 2018 here today, with selections from Fly Street, Icon, Alpinestars, REV'IT, and Klim. They range in price from just under $100 to a little over $300, so there's something in there for everybody. So first what we're going to do is take a closer look at the details of each, and then at the end I'm going to tell you what my pick would be. If you like any of these jackets, we've got them all at ridersdomain.com. We're starting with the least expensive of the bunch. This is the Fly Street Flux Air Jacket. Now, if I were going to dream up the prototypical mesh riding jacket, it would look a lot like this. Big mesh panels on the torso and up the sleeves, and soft, lightweight, and really porous mesh material. And the Flux Air definitely has that. I hold it tight and look at the mesh under the light. I can see my skin right through. This thing's going to push a lot of air through when you're riding down the road. This jacket is also, pretty much stripped of any bells and whistles. It's got standard fitment adjustments at the waist and on the arms. You got some hand warmer pockets and a couple interior pockets. There's no removable liner or anything like that. It's just a fixed mesh inside. You also get some impact protection in the elbows and shoulders, along with a foam back pad. So some of the pros of this jacket, first and foremost for me, are the lightweight feel. I barely feel like I'm wearing anything. This could be a football practice jersey. It's a little loose in the sleeves, but I also have the fitment adjustments wide open. So if I were to open that up and tighten it, I could make sure that the elbow armor is, well placed and where it needs to be if I were to take a tumble. One of the cons is just how light and thin the mesh is. That's going to provide you a lot of airflow, but if you ever find yourself, in the event of a crash, there's not a lot between you and the road here. But this is a trade-off you make when you choose to wear a mesh jacket, especially at the price point of around $100. The mesh is going to push a lot of air, but it's not going to provide as much abrasion resistance at some of the higher price points. So the Flux Air makes the cut as one of the best mesh jackets of 2018 because of its price point. You can get a riding jacket here for about $100. So our next pick is the Icon Mesh AF jacket. Now, one of the big reasons that we picked this jacket is because you get a full suite of D3O impact armor for under $200. Icon's also given a lot of attention to some of the finer details of this jacket. The fitment adjustments on the arm, for example, these are pull straps. You get a wider range of adjustment options than the button snaps, plus you get 2 on the arm instead of just one single adjustment on the bicep. They also use a thick, coarse mesh. It feels durable, it feels confidence inspiring, but it's also wide weave, so it's going to push a lot of air through. You get big beefy zippers on the main entry and down here on the cuffs as well. You get a drop back length out back to keep you covered when you're in the ride position, and you also get a pretty good amount of abrasion resistant material on the forearms, on the shoulders, and on the back. Icon also includes some padding out here on the forearms as well. So the big pros for this jacket are the D3O impact armor and the coarser material used in the construction of the mesh panels. There's no liner system whatsoever with this jacket, so if there's any kind of rain or threat of rain at all, you're going to want to leave this jacket at home. When we compare this one against some of the others in our selection that have a little bit more versatility in terms of weatherproofing, it kind of limits this jacket just a little bit. But all in all, for the price at 180 bucks, you're getting a prototypical, stereotypical mesh jacket, big panels on the front, back, and on the arms. And if airflow is your prime concern, this jacket's going to have you dialed. So our next pick is the Alpinestars Wake Air Jacket. This is one of the best of 2018 because Alpinestars introduced a new design mesh for this jacket and for a couple others in the line. Basically, it's a dual layer setup. The outside layer is a wide weave mesh, and underneath that is a really tight weave mesh. And what this is going to give you is an added layer of abrasion resistance. But it's also going to allow lots of air flow through these big panels on the chest and out the back and up through the arms. Another really nice touch with this jacket is the fact that you get Alpinestars BioAir armor in the elbows and shoulders. It does come with foam back pad and chest pads, which can be upgraded to Nucleon protectors if you want to go for maximum impact protection. Additionally, there's some little bits and pieces that show Alpinestars was really thinking about, what riders need when they're on the bike. This little flap down here at the bottom of the zipper is there to keep the metal parts from rubbing on your tank when you're leaned over the bike. Alpinestars also gives you a waterproof pocket inside in case you do find yourself out on the road taking an impromptu bath. So the big pro for this jacket is the enhanced abrasion resistance throughout. You get nice big textile panels on the forearms, the shoulders, and the dual layer mesh system provides that added layer of abrasion resistance compared to some of the other jackets in our comparison. A few of the cons of this jacket are the fact that if airflow is your primary concern, you do have 2 layers to get through as compared to the single layers of a couple of the other jackets we're looking at. And if you want back protection like you get with the Icon jacket, for example, you're gonna have to spend about $60 for the Nucleon pad, which would bring the total cost of the Wake Air up to around 250 bucks. So our next selection is the REV'IT traction jacket. So this one bumps you up into a little bit more premium price point at $299, but it's a really interesting piece. So the traction jacket's a little bit different in that it doesn't necessarily wear its meshiness out as loud and proud as the other jackets in our selection. That's because REV'IT uses a PWR mesh throughout this entire jacket. So, this part's mesh, the whole torso's mesh, everything's mesh except for these TPU protectors and the knit cuffs, collar, and the waist down here. And that makes it really nice because this is a soft material and wearing it, especially with the cuffs and the collar, designed as they are, it almost feels like you're wearing a sweater and not a riding jacket. But the PWR mesh is abrasion resistant and REV'IT gives you C-Soft protectors in the elbows and shoulders as well. Another big piece to this jacket is the fact that inside you get a Hydrotex G liner. Now that is REV'IT's waterproofing. So the versatility of this jacket is absolutely unparalleled compared to the other jackets in our selection. And another nice touch is the installation points for the liner will also accommodate a REV'IT cooling vest. So if you want to ditch the liner, leave it at home, and then pop in the cooling vest because it's 115 degrees out wherever you're riding, you got that option as well. Now, one of the drawbacks is that you don't get any type of back protection with this jacket out of the box. You have to buy back protector upgrade if you want to have that piece. The cooling vest also doesn't come with the jacket as is, so you do have to spend a little bit more money if you want some additional creature comforts like that. So some of the big pros to this jacket are, just the overall design. It's really comfortable and large. My typical size, it's form fit, but gosh, I have no problem moving around in the jacket at all. Like I said, it feels like you're wearing a sweater almost, not necessarily a riding jacket. Plus, the additional impact protection at the shoulders is a nice touch for safety. And when we shine a light through this thing, you're going to see that it's still going to pump a lot of air through when you ride around without the liner installed. And some cons to this jacket, being a tighter weave mesh, it does run the risk of not pushing as much air through as, say, the Icon or the Fly jacket or even the Alpinestars. And starting at $299, you're going to have to shell out more money if you want back protection or a cooling vest too. A final, small demerit is the fact that this doesn't have a whole lot of reflective material on it like some of the other jackets. So if you do a lot of riding at night or, even low light conditions, it's going to be a little bit harder to see because this is definitely a stealth look. We went ahead and picked this jacket because it is an outlier. It's a different look than the other mesh jackets. If you want something a little bit more stylish, a little bit more stealth looking, a little bit more like ninja style, the REV'IT has you covered. Plus, you do get the added benefit of some waterproofing with the liner inside. So our final pick is the Klim induction jacket. Now this is top of the heap in terms of price, starting at $350. Now what you get for that price is some of the thickest, coarsest, most durable feeling mesh of all the jackets we picked. It's got a wide enough weave to allow plenty of air through, but it's tight enough to keep you really well protected in the event of a crash. It feels so durable, like you might as well just go diving with the sharks in this jacket. You're gonna be all right. Disclaimer, don't dive with sharks in this jacket. The abrasion-resistant material around the mesh is also really high quality, and you get lots of it up the forearm and the shoulders. And inside is D3O impact protection in the elbows, the shoulders, and the back. Klim even went a step further and utilized a new design of D3O impact protection. It's more breathable, it's more porous, so the airflow is absolutely top priority for this jacket, even down to the armor. There's no liner system inside, so unlike the REV'IT jacket, you find yourself caught out in an unexpected thunderstorm, you're gonna get drenched. Some of the other really nice touches to this jacket are the stretch panels that Klim includes in key areas to help you be able to move more freely on the bike, and a lot of really reflective material throughout the front and back. Some of the pros of this jacket are the highly abrasion-resistant mesh material used throughout, as well as the suite of D3O impact protection that you get. The big con to this jacket is its price. This is priced in the same realm as more technologically sophisticated textile jackets. You could even find leather jackets on the market at the same price point. One of the things you get in that premium price is a warranty that's really fantastic because Klim covers its products for the lifetime of the product against any sort of manufacturing defects. Now the main reason we chose the induction jacket is because you get some of the best mesh, the most abrasion resistant mesh available. My pick for the best of the best mesh jackets of 2018 is the REV'IT Traction. I like to have some choices, and the waterproof liner inside was what tipped the scales for me. In our neck of the woods, Southern Oregon, just because it's summer and just because it's hot outside doesn't mean that things aren't gonna turn in the afternoon. Skies are gonna get black and dump rain on you. I've had it happen to me before, and I've been caught out without any waterproofing, and it's a bad time. I also like the fact that there is mesh throughout. You aren't limited to just a few panels on the front and the back and the arms. This whole thing is mesh, so it's gonna be really breathable out on the road. I also really like the fit of this jacket. The knitted cuffs, collar, the sort of form-fit sport cut of it. It just all feels really good. It's how I want a jacket to feel when I'm on the bike. I like the fact that you get some additional abrasion resistance and impact protection on the shoulders, and it would be worth it to me to upgrade to the back protector and cooling vest because I'd be able to wear this jacket spring, summer, fall. Even if I wanted to venture out in winter, there's enough room underneath to wear an adequate base layer. So for me, the do-it-all mesh jacket, It's going to have you covered for nearly every season, is the REV'IT traction. So those are our picks for the best mesh jackets of 2018, and all of them are available at ridersdomain.com. But now we want to hear from you. Do you wear mesh during the summer? If so, leave us a comment and tell us what you're wearing and why you love it. And don't forget to subscribe to Riders Domain for more product spotlights and motorcycle reviews.